Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Litecoin. I wanted to start with just zooming out a little bit just to recap on the price movement since June. I'm not too impressed by the movement, I have to say. It is very choppy. Nevertheless, the trend is certainly up. What I don't like about this chart is that we now have 3-1-2 setups and it really needs to start to escalate. Otherwise, it's probably just going to break down eventually. What I don't like is this strong sell-off here most recently. That doesn't really add very well into the whole picture. But it's still a valid 1-2-1-2-1-2 setup. So we had the first wave 1 in September. We then came down in an ABC correction in a wave 2. We had another 1-2 setup and here another 1-2 setup. Don't forget that this is one of the worst charts out there in general if you compare it to the performance Litecoin versus Bitcoin long term. So it is one of the altcoins that hasn't really done very well in outperforming Bitcoin. Most coins actually are not able to outperform Bitcoin cycle over cycle. It's a bit of a misconception that altcoins perform well over Bitcoin. They do in an alt season and they do in bull runs, but they don't normally do it cycle over cycle. Bitcoin is still the king in that regard. There are really only a handful of coins I'm aware of that outperform Bitcoin. From that point of view, with regards to hodling, that's why in terms of hodling, I tend not to hold many altcoins, or at least not a lot of exposure. Okay, but that's only me. We've got a 1-2-1-2-1-2 setup. So what would we expect from here? Basically a third wave rally. It has started to move, which is good. So obviously, if we take a look and say, right, we've just completed here this wave 2 on the 11th of March or 10th of March, and we did rally. Where are we now? So if this is the case, we can count certainly 5 waves up of the March low, of the 10th of March low. Moved up. The view is that we came down in an ABC correction. Now again, here there are different possibilities. We can say it was a wave 1 and then an ABC, or the wave 2 finished here, and this was a 1-2, and then we're now ready. It doesn't make a great difference in the short term, to be honest. Looking at the structure, I mean, this is a 5-wave move up, at least it looks like it. So I'd rather actually be inclined to say that, wave 2 finished here on the 15th of March. This was already a wave 1 to the upside. This here was the wave 2. And it also did hold our support. It did hold the orange support, but it never had a meaningful break below that 78.6 retrace. Therefore, I can go with the subwave structure of a 1-2 setup. Otherwise, I would have had to say, okay, this is the larger wave 2. But that's just sort of the detail. I think at the moment we could argue, at least as long as the 79.40 level is holding, this swing low of yesterday's swing low there, we could say that as long as this is holding, we can focus on higher in third wave. What would be the target for this third wave? Let's measure that. We go take the length of the wave 1, we go to the low of the wave 2, and the third wave should take us to basically $98. That's what it would need to do to prove to us it's actually a third wave as a minimum. So $100 would be a great sort of psychological barrier, the 1.786 extension. When we then come down in the fourth wave needs to be shallow and should avoid an overlap with wave 1. And then it can give us a fifth wave that would complete the higher degree third wave, and then it can cascade higher. And by that, we will be above $100, a level that we haven't seen in a very long time. And then it could go up, right? I'm not too much into Litecoin fundamentally. I actually haven't checked, but I think that the halving is coming up as well. But I'm not following that too much. So there's certainly a bit of a catalyst in the background as well. But yeah, again, as long as these support levels are holding and as long as that swing low is holding that I highlighted, I think at the moment, temporarily, we can focus on higher. Best evidence that this larger third wave has started, and you can see how that could cascade higher. Best evidence that this large third wave has actually started would be a break above the wave 1 high, and that would be 105.62. Okay, that's my update about Litecoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.